Investigator.
So anyway, guys, thanks for playing. Right now we got one of the best spinals on planet Earth. Raven is Rizzle. We're gonna break down Spinal for you guys. So anyone who wants to learn the character, we're gonna take care of that right now. Were you there for the Nikki one earlier, or did you miss it?
No, I definitely missed his breakdown. I watched when you guys were playing.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna talk about. First off, we're gonna talk about his movement, or his smoothment, or lack thereof.
I'll be back in a second, but I'm gonna come back and watch the stream.
Okay.
The breakdown.
Yeah, man.
Don't worry, Dev. I got some notes. I'm gonna start with the buttons before.
Okay, do whatever you got it, bro. You got it.
I got it.
By the way, it's Crazy Fingers. Join that Discord link I sent. Is jump medium kick movement? Yes.
Hell yes.
You're welcome to join the chat too, by the way. Just shut the fuck up every now and again. Anyway.
You can join, but just make sure to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, every now and again.
When the adults are talking.
Yeah. So what's going on here?
Alright, so this is Spinal. This is a Spinal breakdown. He's a projectile rushdown character. He's like a steam train that the moment he gets going, he's gonna make it look like he's the best character in the game. His skulls are everything that matters to him. If you don't have skulls, you're not gonna get anything done.
His main resource.
He is difficult because he has to manage two characters' resources instead of one. He has some solid normals. If they're not plus, they're definitely beefy and long range. So you got this, which covers a lot of ground and isn't really punishable on block. You got this one, which is a good median.
Which one is that? What are those?
This is going to be your far heavy punch. This is your close heavy punch. Your crouching heavy punch, which is good because it gives you a skull and it's good for anti-airs. This is your far heavy kick. Your crouching heavy kick is going to be a slide, which reaches pretty far. I think it should reach right here. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet spot.
And then block this. That's the far. This is the close heavy kick. We got close medium punch, which is plus. Crouching medium punch, far medium punch. Crouching medium kick is a low.
Then I do a knockdown.
Close medium kick.
Or no, that's old.
No. Yeah, that's season 1. Wrong version. Standing light kick, crouching light kick. Ooh. Crouching light kick hits low. Both jabs are plus.
It's a slide negative. They want to know.
Yeah, slide is not like other slides in games where you can make it safe on spacing. It's gonna always be at least -10, I believe. So it'll always be punishable with a heavy.
Show them.
Yeah, see? There are other ways that he can make it safe, but he has to spend resources. But we'll go over that when the time comes. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think he has 4 special moves. He's got Soul Sword. And so on that one, Heavy Soul Sword with Skull makes it 2 hits and it's plus on block. But if he doesn't have Skull, it just launches on hit and is still safe on block. He's also got Bone Shaker, light, medium, and heavy. Heavy is the only one that's punishable at -5, but
what about the medium Soul Sword and light Soul Sword?
They're both negative. Also, Soul Swords are negative. The only one that's positive on block is going to be Shadow. So be wary of that if you don't have meter, because I will try to frame cover you with this. Heavy Bone Shaker goes through projectiles with Skull. Without Skull, it doesn't go through projectiles and is -5.
I didn't know that.
That it goes through projectiles, or that it's -5?
It goes to projectiles.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Cat Daddy?
Yeah. What you'll see sometimes is like off certain setups. Base and I, when we play off certain setups, would do that if we have a skull because we know it goes through the setup.
Get a skull, cause I want to do a tremor.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna do 3 crouches and tremor. 1, 2, 3. Whoa.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
So those are 2 of his specials. He's also got Fireball, which without any skull always turns into the big puff. If the big puff hits, it gives him a skull. Anything that's green like this gives him a skull.
Throw does the same thing too.
Yes, throw does the same thing.
The autos.
His spectral manuals, which are his combo trait, give him skulls. And then the skull, the fireball without the skull gives him one as well. So I have 4 skulls. They do different things. If you do the different intensities, light, medium, heavy, they do different things. Light will go low and hits low, but it is punishable on block at -5. Medium will go across the screen like this and is +3 on block. And then overhead is the heavy and it's plus on block, but it's got a big gap on it.
The overhead one goes where you are, so like.
Yeah, it tracks where you were. It tracks where you were when I did the input, so you can move out of it and everything like that. Let's see, and then the final ones are his teleports, and they are character dependent and not screen dependent, like full wars. They're character dependent. So light teleport will always put you at this distance in regards to the opponent. So it's always going to put you about heavy punch distance or jump distance. And no matter what, I could be here, I could be here, it's always going to take me there. Medium will always put me directly in front of the enemy player. And then heavy's always going to put me behind him, like a toss-up. I'm going to get some skulls. Shadow Bone Shaker is also plus on block. Shadow Skull is not. And then Shadow Teleport is his reversal. It's very slow, but it's punishable on block. It's like -18 or something.
Show him. Watch this, watch this. I'm gonna build your meter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw him, and he's gonna do it. I messed up, but it's really punishable. Hold on. It's not great, but it does have utilities because you could do it in the air to punish something crazy. Like watch. I'm gonna throw him. Jab. And yeah. Wait, watch this. Oh yeah. Let's show him what happens when you do it in the air.
We'll wait. The time's about to run out. But
yeah, it's cool because like, if he sees that someone's gonna try waking him up with something like a DP or something, like Wolf or like TJ's Shadow DP or something, he could like bait it. He could jump in the air, see my freeze frame, and then do his freeze frame. It's pretty fucked up.
just go ahead and give me both bars too.
Okay. Believe it or not, this builds meter the fastest. Reversal sometimes inaccurate. What do you mean?
It is kind of inaccurate in that it always tracks where they were. It always goes behind.
Yeah. So like watch.
Them wherever they were when I did the input.
If I'm moving, it's always gonna be where it was, no matter what.
Yeah, where it's gonna be, I'm gonna go behind the location of where they were when
The moment the input came out. Yeah.
Yeah, so they can jump out of it, and it's so slow that you can jump out of it, or that forward dash. There's a lot of options you can do. If blocking it is probably the last thing you want, especially if I have something like instant. Maybe not if I don't, but other than that, the two worst things you can do is get hit by it or get block it.
Let me try anti-airing you and then you like
Alright.
casting it. Yeah, see? I saw him jump in. I could have sworn I was gonna hit him.
I did that one pretty low to the ground, but
Yeah, but
you can do
it
stuff like
can
that.
happen anywhere. Yeah,
Give me some more,
sure.
just so I can show that.
Oopsie.
Meter is very important to this character because he has to use his meter for a number of things. I'm gonna get some skulls too. So, Spinal is difficult to. He's a difficult character to learn because he has three resources to be wary of: his skulls, his shadow meter, and his instinct meter. But he also has to be aware of the other person's because his priority or his functions of the skulls is to. I'm gonna hit you. Don't block this. That's gonna lock out his instinct meter, so he can't gain any more no matter how much damage he takes.
Yep, I can't pop instinct.
And that's helpful across the board.
How do I get rid of it though?
You're gonna get rid of it by hitting me, and you're gonna get rid of each skull. If I land 5 skulls on you, you're gonna have to hit me 5 times. So
Stacks,
keep that in mind. And it's gonna go based off whichever skull hit first. So let's say if I put on the instinct skull onto you last, you're gonna have to hit me, get rid of all the other skulls before you can.
So it goes in order then.
Yeah. Go ahead and spend a bar meter so I can show what the other one does. The regular skull does. And that puts a curse on his shadow meter.
I can't gain it by blocking or anything.
Yep. And I believe they each last, I think, somewhere about 10 seconds. At least 10 seconds? 10,
Yeah.
15 seconds. So your best bet is to hit him. And that can come from any... And it's not like one move is one hit. It just goes by hit. So if you do a shadow, and your shadow hits 5 times...
All gone.
That's 5 skulls right there. 5 curses, that's what they are. They're curses. And so, the other thing... Give me a meter double.
Alright.
Because we're still just going over his moves and some of the utility of them. Another thing that you have to be wary of is some of the risks that Spinal will be willing to take once he has some of the meter. Alright, go ahead and block this. So earlier we saw that Skull was slide was punishable on block. Go ahead and hit me. See? But if I want to make myself safe, I have to spend resources like this. I'm gonna do it again and you try and punish.
Couldn't, I was stuck.
Yeah. See? So it's not a frame trap and it doesn't leave the Spinal plus. It's actually like -4, -3. But so it's unpunishable, but it makes a lot of moves safe. It makes slide safe. Go ahead and give me more meter. That's one thing that you have to be wary of. And then I haven't gone over 2 moves, but we're gonna go over them right now.
Like Info said, pretty much. Like, just imagine like the curses are pretty much never gonna come off. You have to kind of take action and get them off.
Yes. This is a very Season 3 change to him. He can actually spend a bar of meter to get skulls without landing a combo or any of those screen hits. It's going to be down, down,
Punches?
all punches.
Yeah.
All punches.
Thanks for the follow.
And it gives him 3. It's punishable, you know.
Go ahead and do it from there.
It's pretty reactable at certain ranges. Obviously, that was just really far.
Yeah.
But at max ranges, you're probably going to be fine. And then, so those are all of the special moves. Laser Sword is going to be quarter circle back punch. Fireball is quarter circle forward punch. Teleport is quarter circle back kick. and then Bone Shaker is quarter circle forward kick. So we'll go over the command normals because we haven't gone over those, and they're very important. He's got his overhead, which is going to be back heavy punch, and it should be the fastest in the game, I believe, at 16 or 17 frames, and it is forward advancing as well. So that's scary once combined with his movement.
It doesn't go as far as like say TJ's. Like look how far I am with TJ.
Yeah.
But it comes off way faster.
And then this is going to be his other one.
Now watch
his other
this.
command normal at back light punch, and it's called Power Devour. It will absorb any special move, whether it be a physical or projectile hit, and he will get skulls for it and a punish. So those are all of his normals and special moves so far. I'm gonna go ahead and use these, and then
Did you do a dive kick?
I haven't done the air normals yet.
Oh, okay.
But,
I was just thinking the same thing actually.
Yeah, and I was also going to count dive kick as part of his movement too, because his movement is very different.
True.
His walk speed is very forward.
Yeah.
It'd be back forward. But you're right, dive kick. And dive kick in of itself is, since it's very different compared to like Wolves, where Wolves is always going to be a set frame data. I feel like I could go way more into depth about his dive kick. This is going to be his jump light punch, his jump light kick, his jump medium punch. His jump medium kick is his dive kick, his jump heavy punch, and his jump heavy kick. This one is going to be his primary jump in, just because it covers a lot of ground and gives a lot of like hit stun priority.
Super good. Think about his dive kick too. Is like most dive kicks, like say Saberwolf for example, require you to either neutral jump or forward jump to do it, whereas Spinal could do it defensively.
Yeah, I could jump back and do it, and there's no high restriction on it either. I could do it as low to the ground as I want. I'm gonna combo you so I can put you in the air and show.
You need a little higher build up. You gotta get higher ender. Ground bounces.
Yeah, causes a ground bounce, and he can get
Actually, I can
things
just
off
jump.
of it.
I could just jump and you can hit me with that. There you go.
Yeah.
Shit sucks.
So that's another thing that happens. His backdash is okay at best, I suppose.
It's so good, dude. It recovers so fast compared to most characters in the game. Like I could go for a throw, and he could backdash and he could punish me, which is rare. Like watch.
Yeah, but that's a range and
Recovery thing.
yeah. And then his forward dash is the other part that's important because his walk speeds are very poor. You got forward dash
run.
turned into a run.
The only character in the game that can do that, according to Jackal.
Oh, Rash can do it too.
I said according to Jackal. He said that shit on stream. Anyway.
Yeah. So that's and it's one of those things I can hold it as long as I want and just push you to the corner.
Can you cancel it?
You can only cancel it into block, but you can cancel into it, and that's what that's another thing that makes his skull so important is he can cancel normals into run cancel. And depending on the move that was canceled, it changes. The run cancel will change its frame data. The rule of thumb is if it was a light that was canceled, it's going to be. Let's see. It's if it was a light that was canceled, it's going to be more negative. If it was a heavy that was canceled, it's going to be more plus. It's the rule of thumb.
Yeah, I could jab him out of his run when he's a light.
Yeah.
Well, on reaction, it's hard.
It's one of those things where you think that you can necessarily drive me out of my run, but the way the run cancel works is that if I were to hit a button is when you would notice the frame data. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't be able to jab me
If you were
just
gonna
for
block
run
it.
canceling. Yeah. Because I think something like light kick is like -5 or something, or like, like the jabs are very minus, but because you're in block stun, I can still block too. But
Show him some.
the only
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna, because there's actually certain moves that can't be run canceled, and that's gonna be things like crouching heavy punch and crouching heavy kick. Those cannot be canceled. Everything else can, whether it be a far, close,
What about
or
the overhead?
a crouch. The overhead can be as well, and they can be run canceled on hit or on block. And as a matter of fact, manuals can be run canceled as well. So that's just another part of the mix-up and reset game that you have to be aware of. I guess before that, let me go over his enders, just so that everybody's aware of that. His fireball ender is his resource ender. He can get 4 at the most from the ender itself, not including the combo. And just go ahead and block these. So I got a level 3 ender, but because I did the spectral manual, which is his combo trait, I get the additional 1. His soul sword launcher is his soul sword ender is his launcher, and he can get setups or free curses off of it.
Someone has a question. Kai said, "When should I push the button against the run canceling? When's a good time, do you think, to like try to take your turn back?"
So it's one of those things where you're not going to be able to... Oh, yeah, you will be able to tell. It's going to depend based off of the normal that was run canceled. Right? So for sure, the one normal that you probably never ever really want to contest if it's ever run canceled is going to be his far heavy kick. I believe if you run cancel that, it's like plus double digits, like plus 10 to 12 or something.
Jesus.
Yeah. Everything else, like this at max range, you would think it would be really good, but it's only like, I think it's actually neutral. So it's going to depend a lot on the button that was run canceled. You can challenge it with other things though, whether it be like holding up, if I were to go for a throw.
I think shadow counter is a good idea too.
Yeah, right. Shadow countering depending on what the run cancel was. If they're doing a lot of heavy kicks, they're probably going to keep their block string up.
I was gonna say that Infil was asking if you guys could do a jump test on overhead run cancel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we can do that right now because that's actually going to be your easiest way to test how something is. I know Bane Mobius at one point on Twitter had a whole chart for all of his normals and the frame data once they've been run canceled. He had it on Twitter at one point. I don't know if he still has it there or if it'd be easy to find, but you could probably just ask him. I think he has it as an Excel sheet or a Google document.
Okay, so you want us to...
Yeah, but I'm gonna need skulls.
So hold up.
He said he wanted overhead.
On hit or block?
He run cancel.
So we'll put you over here, and then...
Oh, my bad? Go ahead.
It's on block.
Yeah.
Go ahead, do it again.
Ready?
Yeah.
So they were close, but
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah, they were very close. But if you check heavy kick,
Because
plus.
watch who gets off the ground the first. So you want to look at their feet. That's why you want to look at their feet. Because height and like who gets to the top first is a little weird. Because certain characters kind of like, you know, jump faster up.
Yeah. But it is also one of those things where I think, yeah, see, that one you'll see it the most because that one is also really plus. But there's certain moves that, because it's run canceled into something else, which I think changes. It's the difference between the run cancel and the next action that you see it. So something like that, you wouldn't see it as much. But overhead, you see it a lot because there is a big difference there as well. Let's see.
Do a jab and see how it looks like.
Just before that, that's his wall split ender, since I have him in the corner. And then let me go ahead and do that. His bone shaker ender is his wall splat ender, and then his damage is his teleport.
That's all his enders?
Yeah, he has 4 enders.
What about his shadow cash out? What's his shadow cash out?
His shadow cash out is gonna be Shadow Skeleport.
Now what about in the air? Can you do an example of a combo that gets cashed out in the air?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Let's see, and there was something else I was about to.
Yeah, I noticed that too, Infill. Spinal's enders is fucking painful. But most players opt to do resource enders or setup enders, which I think is a mistake sometimes, personally. But I think trying to get the kills really good because his enders does so much damage.
Agreed. You know, but it also goes back to where his
Eating,
resources
yeah.
are. Well, his resources are just important to him because he has to manage your resources and then kill you with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone like TJ, I would never want them to get instinct.
True.
There's a lot of characters you probably actually don't ever want to give instinct. And I got to spend meter for that, or you know, if I'm willing to take a risk like a slide, you know.
What about his Can you show off like can you show off like a run cancel setup, like combo or like block string? Like let's just say we're fighting right now, right? Let's just say we're fighting.
So if I was gonna go for pressure, I would go for a throw, or I'm sorry, actually, it would be a back throw because he gets something off of this throw. Go for a mix up and then just.
Oof, scary.
I could go for the. If I think you're gonna try and hold up out of it, I can just tag you with a low. I didn't do it right there, but it's possible. And you can do it mid combo as well, so you know you have to be wary of those resets.
So it looks like back throw is kind of like the go-to throw for
Jackpot. Bigaha.
For everything, yeah. And I can change that on.
Thank you,
I
bro.
can put that as that setup. I can actually put it on either side of you, but it's I only get it off the back throw.
That's hard to block. Trust me.
And it could have hit him in the front. His forward throw pushes them like that. Let's see. Let me end that.
She said Biga.
She said Bigaha.
I'm gonna play it again.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Jackpot. Bigaha.
Stupid.
So he can walk across the screen. That's not how he's gonna want to. Running is gonna be his best bet, especially because he can stop pretty much on a dime. He's got teleports to close the distance on zoners, or somebody throws a bad fireball, or you know, let's say I'm in a corner when I don't want to be. And
If I
then
do
you
Trevor,
got
he
things
can teleport too.
Yeah, you also got things like dive kick, which, as Devil pointed out earlier, can be done from a jump back, a neutral jump, or a jump forward.
It's really hard to catch Spinal off a power line. For example, like he could like jump. One of the few cases I could dodge it and then punish it at the same time. Well, I'm gonna do, see, look at that. Oof. He could dodge it and then punish it immediately.
So I'm gonna put you in the corner just so that I can get my spacing like every time. This Spinal's dive kick is pretty different to somebody like Saberwolf's because his frame data changes based on the height at where it connects. So if I do it at max height, something like that, Devil will be able to punish me. Go ahead and punish me, Devil.
Oh, sorry. I don't think I can.
Yeah. No, that was a punish.
Was it? Cause I didn't say.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't. It won't say it, but it.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, as soon as I block, yeah, I'm holding down back. It won't say it. I don't know why, but.
Probably because the game doesn't understand that frame data
Yeah.
change.
Probably. So at max height, it's always going to be punishable. The closer I get it to you, below your knee,
Foot, yeah.
if I can get it as close as I can, no, that's not, you know. Don't move? Or just hold, yeah, there we go. That should be +1 at best.
Let's jump at
didn't
the same
know that.
time.
Yeah, plus,
Yeah, you got up way sooner than I did. Or not way sooner, but
yeah, I was able to jump first.
do it on my head like as high as possible. See how fast I got up? It's like
Yeah, see the
-5.
difference?
That was like definitely -5.
Yeah. Usually, if anything above the knee, you're probably going to be able to get a throw or a jab as a punish. Anything above the waist, you'll probably be able to get a jab or a throw punish.
Oh, see what info
anything-
said?
No.
It doesn't. It won't punish. It won't say the word punish if it's an aerial on recovery, like a jumping attack.
That makes sense. Look at IG knowing they were doing. He does not have staggers or a recapture, so you don't have to be worried about those things.
I'm gonna give you instinct. Oh, it's
Or flip out, right?
No flip out as well. A lot of the things that were given to characters in season 3 he doesn't have to be worried about. Wait for the time. He is weak to like grapplers and rush time characters because his defense is on the poor side and that he doesn't have very good reversal. And actually, that's probably the next thing we could do.
Okay.
Before we go into instinct, because the instinct itself is also pretty complicated. Go over here. Just throw me, and throw me when I try to wake up, so you can throw me out of my teleport.
You can do it late as fuck too.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it right away.
So his teleport. So throw me again, Devil, but just try to hit me with a heavy punch.
Okay.
The teleport is susceptible to throws, but that's it. It
no
won't get
strikes.
hit. Yeah, no strikes or no projectiles. It avoids those things completely. That was another thing that I wanted to talk about in regards to his special moves. His Soul Sword has upper body invincibility, which actually makes it his best anti-air, even though this gives you more reward.
You know how hard it is to anti-air this button? It's crazy.
Yeah,
Parry it. Dumbass.
Ugh.
Spinal just has bad anti-airs in general, but his best bet is gonna be the Soul Sword, just because it covers the most ground and it's fast. And if you're already buffering, you'll get it. This can be pretty inconsistent. The only reason you would ever want it is if somebody has a simple jump in, like Jago, and
Yeah, like,
you know you're gonna get the skull.
The jump medium kick, you know.
Yeah. But other characters like Wolf, who's gonna have like a dive kick or something, probably don't want to run the risk with that. Or this isn't gonna anti-air to the earth.
Hell no. You guess you get punished.
Yeah. So this has upper body invincibility. Bone Shaker, the only one that has anything is going to be the heavy with skull, and that goes through projectiles.
Oh, you forgot about the teleport skull usage.
Yeah, the uses for the skulls. That's why I was going through them right now. I forgot. The property of the heavy teleport with skull is that he can use another skull. He can use a skull to cancel it into any special move. So it could be a soul sword, it could be a teleport, or it could be a bone shaker.
So you can get rid of the recovery frames and make it to something like it's a special move. It's pretty lit.
To punish to move, to turn into a mix-up, you know, anything like that. What else are some of the uses for skulls? We've gone over run cancels, we've gone over the fireball itself, or the curses. Gone over, now we went over these things. Trying to think if there's anything else that I use skulls for. You use them for setups, but that's part of fireball.
You can use them for being a bitch because this character's fucking instinct is with skulls is like the worst thing ever.
Yep. You use them for being a bitch.
Just saying.
I did go over his unders, but before I do that, let me also go over his linkers. Just you're gonna have the bone shaker and linker. You're gonna have the teleport linker and the soul sword.
But what about his shadow linkers?
His shadow bone shaker is gonna be it has poor carry, but I guess you could say carry. His shadow sword linker is gonna be his most damaging linker. And as a matter of fact, I'll probably have you give me meter again so people can see just how much damage that one does. And Infill could correct me if I'm wrong, but his shadow sword linker is the most damaging linker in the game.
Holy shit.
The most damaging shadow linker, probably not. It's not like Mira who has to put blood.
I think TJ's shadow knee is fucking pretty deadly.
I was gonna say, I think that Idol with instinct when he does the fucking shadow club. I don't know if that counts, but that shit is crazy.
Yeah. I guess for just like the plain bar of meter, it might just be that move for like Spinal, but you're right, for things like Idol and Instinct and that.
Let's see combo. Let's do
there
you go.
So that's gonna be 17, and that was just off of a heavy. So that's a good opener.
That's
right?
a ton of damage.
Yeah, and I was already level 2 ender.
Let me see something. Hold on.
Do you want me to block it? 18.
Well, TJ's heavy kick's ridiculous. We have to do we have to do like a heavy punch or something because that's like everyone's universal usually. So let's see your heavy punch into it.
17. 17.
TJ's shadow knee is ridiculous for sure.
And you know what? I was just realizing. I think we were testing it a lot. We're using the opener version of it instead of the
linker version. Block.
Yeah.
Let's both do like
what we'll do is we'll do a heavy normal into
a light opener,
an opener, and then the shadow linker.
No, better yet, just do a jump heavy. Or well, let's just do an opener into heavy auto into shadow linker. How about that?
Okay. So you said it's gonna be opener, heavy auto.
Do heavy bone
shadow.
shaker, heavy auto, heavy kick, and shadow.
I'm gonna do my light soul sword so you can use your spin fist.
Okay, deal.
18%, and I was already at level 3.
Okay, hold on. Whoo! Grown man.
Yeah. So these are both like very damaging characters.
That's
Info does have more info on his
TJ.
more of the exact numbers on his website. You know, the KI Bible. But like for Spinal, his maximum punish, you're always gonna want to do crouching heavy punch into Shadow Sword so you can get skull and damage. You know.
Yeah.
His counter breaker, no bar, is going to be heavy kick auto double with the spectral manual, light sword, heavy kick auto double with spectral manual again into the damage ender. His level 1, it's going to be similar. It's going to be heavy kick auto double with spectral manual, light sword, heavy kick auto double with no spectral manual, shadow sword, and then damage, and then the final version with the max for 2 bars is going to be like that one, but it's going to be with shadow cash out instead of the regular cash out.
Okay. I was gonna say, why don't we just test out this? Why don't we just do 2 shadows at the same time? 2 shadow spins or
Just
whatever.
spend the whole, just to show what it looks like.
Yeah, the damage. Just like do like,
so
like I'm gonna do
light,
shadow knee,
heavy.
shadow knee. I'm just gonna do shadow knee, and do my damage ender.
32. $40.
God damn it! Damn it, boy! Pretty strong for someone of no skin or muscle.
Yeah. And a lot of people were always curious as to why. And I think the reason why they did that was because he's probably not going to spend as much of his shadow meter on damage, just because he has to be aware of the other individuals' resources. Go ahead and start hitting me so I can get instinct.
Kill me.
Alright, his instinct is really good. I'm not going to pop it yet just in case, so I can go over some of the things.
Yeah, like slide.
And, yeah, I can always make slide safe, but I can actually make it's not safe. It's plus on block when I cancel it with instinct. He will, when he's in instinct, you can tell he's in instinct because he's glowing green, and when he's glowing green, he's similar to Jago in that everything is +2. Like you add +2 to all the frame data.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bug in season 1, and I think it was one of those things where they turned a bug into a feature. You know how
Like Glacius?
Yeah.
I didn't know that about him. That's actually
Yeah, so I can actually make my. That's why my low skull is safe and instinct on block.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So everything it's +2. Go ahead and block.
Yeah.
Crouch block. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
that- You said block. I thought you were gonna go for overhead.
yeah, that's fine. But when we'll go over that, go ahead and block these, so just so that people can see what they do.
Oh my
It causes the skulls to bounce, and it only has 3 health points. So that was 3, and on the 4th it goes away. I probably should have, but we'll do it right now in a bit.
I'll give you instinct right now.
It's fine. That's why we need online training mode, just to make it.
Oh, the time's running out anyway.
Yeah.
Info, patch it in.
You're just gonna be like, okay, boss, and then tomorrow we're gonna see a new patch.
And he hits a button on his keyboard that's already on. I had it this whole
You
time.
fucking block him.
I was being a bitch. Oh, well, time was running out, so I think...
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that instinct is dangerous because if you're on the ground, I can put it on the screen and make it get behind you, or you know, things like that. And that's one of the scariest things is to have a low skull behind you. Go ahead and give me instinct.
Break the heavy.
So go ahead and block these.
I'll try. Ugh, do the overhead one too.
And you can do stuff like that.
That's fucked up.
And then the overhead one bounces above.
That's so dumb.
And what I can do is I can go back and absorb it. But that was a good thing to show because I shot it when I was in instinct, but I was already out of instinct and it continued to bounce. So
Yeah,
it will stay on
okay.
screen. Go ahead and give me another instinct meter. Go. So you can hit them with another fireball, things like that to get rid of it.
Might as well kill you. But anyway.
No, that's fine. I'm gonna put the low skull. You're gonna roll through it, and then you're gonna hit me, so you can show the other way to go.
Okay. You can shoot a couple actually.
There you go. Hitting Spinal at any point removes all the skulls, and so that could even be.
Do the overhead one real quick.
That one's gonna go away. Yep.
We can do it right now. Just do a raw one. Just do a raw. Dissipated.
Here, let me. There you go. At any point, hitting him will make all the skulls go away. And it could even be a low one. You could do. Trying to think. He's +2 and then he gets that.
Oh, doesn't he build skulls faster too? I mean,
He builds the meter faster.
builds meter faster. In instinct?
Yeah, in instinct. Yeah.
Why?
Because he used to build no meter in instinct, so that was a change that they made, and it was to work combined with his new move because he didn't in season 3 he didn't always have the move he didn't always have that. So what they did is they made it so that whenever you block a fireball, he gets more meter for it, and that's even more so the case in instinct.
Let's see. Waste all your meter. Or build the meter and waste it and then pop instinct. No, build it.
And I believe he can have. I don't remember if it's 4 or 5. See? I was able to build 3 bars.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, we're still going, Zim. That is cheap.
They introduced those 2 changes at the same time. Because before, all the bouncing skulls would probably give me 1 bar of shadow meter. Like it didn't give me anything. I mean, in terms of my notes, that's all I have. I don't know if anybody else has any other questions.
Does anybody have any questions? You want to talk about matchups?
Matchups, I can go with that. So, like
I get what we can do to talk about matchups is like let's just get this round over with and go to the character select screen like on practice.
So I play some other characters too, and I have a list of characters that I would play Spinal for and that I wouldn't, And there's, let me see if I can find that. But Jago, I think I would argue it's probably 5-5. Wolf.
You got a question, by the way.
Oh, what's the question? No, I don't have the chat up at the moment.
Can you go over a block string, mid screen, and corner? Something safe. Can you go over a block string, mid screen, and in the corner? Like something. I guess some of his like bread and butters, I guess, or like essential shit. Just show off some swag, I guess. That's
pressure. No, I don't think he wants swag. I think he wants to see pressure.
Oh, I think his pressure is swag. That's what I meant. Like some of his bullshit. Look at this shit. I gotta like.
So that he blocked the first run cancel, and that made me plus. He blocked the second skull, which also left me plus.
+4.
And then I went for the throw because the medium skull is +3. And the only way he's going to get out of that if he backdashes, does a throw invincible move, or jumps.
Let's show him that. Show him, what do you do in a corner, like whenever you have like a instinct and you have all the things bouncing around? Like, what are some of your setup? I know like one of the things you do is like you teleport right in front of them again and make them think that they're going to go the other way or whatever, and then they get hit by like you know, your skull coming up or.
Okay, go ahead and crouch block. So I'm plus here, do this, can throw, and then really just start making them, and then you can go for resets, you know. A very tight reset that he can get is going to be overhead after that. If they block it, then...
That is fucked up.
And remember, I get this setup off of back throw. So, an instinct, well, not even an instinct, not even only an instinct, I can even do it here. I can do this, and then just keep the vortex going. And it's building potential damage. And the good thing about something like that is that I spend a skull, get a skull. You know, that's something you always have to be wary of. And I know the one thing I was forgetting to go over in terms of his instinct. We'll go over that right now.
Oh, you also forgot to mention Shadow Skull in the combo as a linker. That you can't break it.
Yeah.
You can do like a ambiguous manual off of it.
Go ahead and give me meter, and then right now I'm giving instant meter in a bit.
Should I sword swipe or shield charge for an opener? If blocked, can I follow up with something? If you do a special move, you know, you could pop instinct. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Well, start giving me instinct. I'll start breaking heavies. That's a good question, and there's not a simple answer to it, though, because it changes whether I'm in an instinct or not. Remember how I said things could get +2 when he's in instinct? So medium laser sword is -1 out of instinct. But in instinct, that'll make it
+1.
Yeah, it'll make it +1. So that means it's your turn. But the other good thing about something like the soul swords is that they have crazy range, right? And so you can use them to as footsie tools. Don't block this double. So if we're at this range, I could, and then go to the combo, you know.
Yeah, he'll teleport into it.
Or you can go into the linker. You do the opener version, and then you just buffer your input, the linker, and if it's blocked or doesn't connect, go ahead and block this. Just crouch block, yeah. See, it's not gonna come out because there's no combo to link into.
Yeah, no contact.
Yeah.
Not opener anymore.
I'm gonna go ahead and shoot that. The one thing I forgot to mention is that go ahead and get hit by that. Now jump at me. He gets double the skulls.
Go ahead and waste the skull real quick. Now, normally whenever you get thrown, let me build your instinct again. When he gets a throw, watch. Look what it does. Go ahead and do it.
I'm gonna get the skull. In instinct, anything that gives you a skull is going to give you double the skulls.
It's gonna kill you. But
that's fine.
Now go ahead.
That also I'm gonna throw.
Build him a skull. See.
And then I'm gonna do instinct. I'm gonna get 2 skulls. Popping Instinct automatically gives you 3. Go ahead and get hit by them, though. Oh shit, my bad. Level 2 Ender gave me 4 skulls because of the double.
Yeah. Cheap.
So, yeah, that only helped. Him being an Instinct just helps his Vortex because he's probably always going to be getting skulls. If he's not hitting you and getting more skulls from whether it be a combo or the normals themselves or the throws, he's going to get more meter and then he's going to get to haul more skulls.
Yep.
Combined with the fact that he's just going to get 3 for popping it, you have to be very careful to deal with everything.
Okay.
That being said, a lot of things canceled into medium school. Medium school is safe, but they're not true strings. So if you have meter, just input it, and if there's a gap, it'll come out. If there's no gap, it won't come out. Simple as that.
True. True.
I'm trying to think. Soul Sword. I usually go with Soul Sword whenever I'm going to go for a mix-up.
It's got good range, and if they hold up, they get hit, right?
Yeah, because it'll catch them going up. You know, I think Light Bone Shaker, if I'm right, will be -2. This will be medium will be -3, and then this will be -4 with skull, -5 without skull. Whereas medium skull will always be -1. And then, you know, once you're in Instinct, you add the +2s and stuff like that.
Right.
But
Do the math,
this is gonna be your anti-air, a good footsie tool, you know, because it has a pushback to it on block. We'll have double block right now. That's a little bit, right? But when you add a range like this,
I can't do shit
you
about
probably
it.
can't do anything. So, and then just do it again, you know. If he tries to poke with the wrong thing, it won't connect. And some people, you know, they can only think of what's the fastest thing and not necessarily what's the furthest reach.
Yeah. True. All right, man. I think that covers the character.
Yeah,
Okay, let me ask you, what's his worst match? Yeah, you want to check out his matchups? Or you want to just talk about maybe his worst and his best?
Yeah, we can start with what the best and the worst are, and then I can go over, you know, everything in between. I think his best matchup by far is going to be against TJ. TJ doesn't really get affected by zoning, but he struggles.
Where he needs to be, right here.
Yeah, he struggles right there, and then the fact that I can limit his resources. TJ has like a top 3 instinct. He has no reversal without meter, so if I can keep both of those things away from him, I get to do whatever I want with him.
I can't really fight back if I don't have instinct or meter. TJ doesn't have any recovery, reversals, I mean, and outside of instinct, he's stubby.
He's already high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
A lot of things are telegraphed, you know, power line. I can literally kind of just do this in neutral. There it worked, right? But there's other times where it'll stuff.
Yeah, just.
Or, you know, I can do that, make him miss completely.
Yeah, if it tries to reversal him, he'll just like
jump back, or, you know, I got slide into this, slide into
shadow.
that. There's a lot of things that this character's gonna. He has a lot of high-low mix-ups that you're gonna have to be worried about, and then that's not even including stuff like that.
It's hard. Oh, I blocked the overhead and the low, but then got hit with the cross up.
Yeah. Combine that with setups off of back throws and stuff like that.
Just another easy matchup for him. Wolf, maybe? No.
But before we do that, I guess I want to show a setup that you have to be careful about.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and get skulls, and then you can just give me instinct. That should be enough. So just go ahead. This is a pretty. It can be a pretty dangerous setup, and the thing that will change your effect on it is your character's height. I guess I'm gonna hit you, Devil, and then don't quick rise. Okay, so don't block. And I messed it up. Well, that one.
That was fucked up.
Yeah. So what happened there is that skull gets stuck in your character's hitbox, and if you crouch that at all, you're gonna get hit because it's an automatic.
Overhead, yeah. Even if it's hitting, even if it's on your feet and you're waking up to, like, say you
At
start
the top of your head, yeah. It hits as an overhead, so
no matter what,
that something like that will let me just go for free lows because you're gonna get hit by something.
Fucked up.
That setup only works with those two uses of resources: the Shadow Vortex, instant canceled into an up skull. So you can quick rise it, and that may help you, depending on your character's height. Or sometimes just waiting it out will also help you. Someone like Aghanos, if he quick rises, it's just going to hit him on the top of the head and you'll be fine. But that's another one that... And I know for a fact it affects Rifter, but I can also do the same thing with the low skull on a back throw. I can get it stuck in the box just because she's such a wide character. So I can get it stuck in her box, and she's just gonna have to hold down back and hope that I don't go for an overhead.
Pray.
So that's pretty help for you guys.
Okay.
That was his best matchup. It's easily gonna be Omen because Omen's fireballs don't go away when you hit him. Omen has the best aerial pressure in the game. And then, like, he has amazing normals. He has Jago and Wolf normals, so there's nothing Spinal can really do.
Yeah, I think, like, Spinal, he really has, like, a hard time, like... It's funny, because, like, his anti-airs straight in front of him, they work pretty well, but, like, when it comes to, like, the stuff that's directly above his head, that's when it starts to get really bad for Spinal. And Omen just, like, lives there.
Yeah.
He just, like, swats the shit out of Spinal, and Spinal can't, like, do anything about it.
Yeah.
You got residence.
The only thing... The area that I always thought of is the thing directly, like, right in front of his forehead. That if the jumping isn't there, then I won't even
like the
really
shield,
attempt
pretty
to
much
try.
where the shield's at?
Yeah, the top of the shield, or like right where his head bandana is. Like, that's kind of where I try to think of where my range is. And then you have, someone like Omen or like Gargos, they can change their trajectories and stuff like that. Or, Sadir can throw something at you. He struggles with air pressure, so anybody in the area does really. Cinder, Gargos, Sadira, Omen. But his best matchup is going to be TJ. His worst is going to be Omen. Other characters that he struggles with is going to be someone like Thunder. Thunder for sure beats him. What's her name? Sadira for sure beats him. Maya beats him because she can just jump and throw daggers every time.
How does he do against like Idol and like Gargos and stuff like that? Hard?
Gargos. Both of those characters are very instinct. They have very overwhelming instincts, and so, or like resources, right? Because even Gargos needs meter for his minions. So the fact that I could reduce how many minions are on the floor is probably, I can reduce the amount of minions he ever puts out in a game by probably half. You know what I mean? And then even if he gets them out, I can absorb them.
Yeah,
I can absorb their hits for skulls. So something like that, it'll probably be 5-5.
Someone has a question.
Sure.
Is Spinal affected by all block? Wait. Is Spinal affected by an all block like Clay? What?
He's asking if he has like any type of mix-up protection.
Pretty much like high-low mix, like hard to blockable.
Yeah, like how some games have like
Cross-up protection.
yeah. As far as I'm aware, this game doesn't have stuff like that.
Does, I mean, well, it has cross-up protection when it comes to like having somebody straight locked in block stun.
Oh yeah.
Like you can't you if you're in
It's
block
not-
stun, like if he throws a skull, for example, and it bounces off the wall, and then Spinal jumps in the air, and then the skull will hit, like he can't like really cross you up. Like it'll protect you from that. So
Yeah, if you're talking about like Marvel mix-ups where you can get hit by certain things at the same time, not really. But so there is like the one frame like blocks. You
there
know.
would be like a hard to blockable,
Yeah.
or it'll be like low and then high. Like if he bounced the skull off the wall and it was going across the screen low, and then he came up and ran up with an overhead, one of them is gonna hit first.
Yeah. Exactly.
And the other thing about Spinal players a lot of the time is like they'll just like run up and not do the overhead sometimes, and like
Yeah.
you think the overhead's
Throw
gonna
you.
come and you just get hit by the low, or that. Yeah, I mean I think it's better to like straight go for one cross up. Like back throw into low skull is like stronger than a lot of the stuff, because I feel like if you try to do too much, then that's when that protection kicks in and your mix up is kind of bunk.
Yeah.
And then yeah.
True.
I was
I
gonna
agree.
say one of the things with Spinal that I think in this game in general that I do, but I think it's particularly good against Spinal, is shadow countering. Like,
Mhm.
if Spinal runs up on you in a situation, like, or he's gonna do like a cross up into a normal, or he's gonna go high or low. If you shadow counter his pressure, not only can you like challenge his plus frames, but you negate mix up too. So like if you have the bar, like if he hasn't stopped you from getting your meter, and Spinal runs up and he does like mid
An
skull,
overhead.
and you're like, oh, I'm wondering if Spinal's gonna go low or like overhead, just shadow counter. Like that's representing shadow counter will make the Spinal player have to like bait that shadow counter out.
Be aware of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's true, Frank. And I just want to let this be known to people: is you can't like if I were to do, if you know I'm going to do normal into medium skull, cannot just shadow counter the medium skull. It's so plus that it won't.
Oh yeah, I was talking about like skull normal.
Yeah, no, and I'm
Yeah.
just letting people know, because obviously, like everybody else, you do if they do normal into fireball, you just shadow counter the fireball, and you're gonna blow them up for it, right? But Spinal is in
Yep.
the Spinal medium fireball is
It's just
the
too.
opposite of that.
Yeah, he
You would
recovers
have to-
quickly.
You would have to shadow counter the follow.
Basic-
Um,
Basically, I guess Spinal's medium skull is not really a lot of blocks, and he recovers so fast from shooting it.
yeah. And then the other thing about it is that it's actually lower to the ground than other fireballs, because it will.
Hit
I
wolf or
don't.
something.
I can't remember if it'll catch. It won't catch wolf because wolf is super low to the ground. But somebody like Orchid, her slide gets clipped by medium skull. She can't go under it. I want to
Really?
say. I think. Yeah, I want to say. I think the same is for Shadow J. But
Wow.
his is lower. Yeah, I don't know if it's that his is lower, the box is bigger, things like that.
Awesome. Anybody have any more
Um,
questions? Keep it coming.
He doesn't have his one, I guess, real reversal shadow scale low, but other than that, things are susceptible to. He doesn't have anything that blows up lows. That's what I was gonna say. Something like wind kick, which crushes lows. He
Good
doesn't have
question.
anything like that.
This is a good question.
He has
Actually.
he has a lot of priority when he throws out like the what's it called, the
Sword.
the skull bash thing. I don't remember what the fuck
Bone
it's
shaker?
called. Like, yeah, bone shaker. Like when he like dashes forward with that, it has a lot of priority and it could be used to challenge certain things. Like, so sometimes when I play against base and if I'm using Gargos and I do like his sweep could actually be countered by that, but like he can't go over it. He can just hit it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
it
it'll
just
stuff it.
priority is there. But yeah, he doesn't have like crushing lows. The only thing that he can do, I guess, is dive kick, but there's a lot of situations where that's not going to come in handy.
Reverend,
Because he has to
Reverend,
actually jump and then do it, so he can't like, yeah.
Reverend wants to know what does Spinal do in the mirror, which is actually a pretty good question. Like, how does he fight himself? Like, I guess if you don't know this, Reverend, he could absorb any of the skulls pretty much. Like, he could absorb Spinal
Hit
skull.
rematch.
Yeah, and
Rematch double.
sorry. Oh,
Hit rematch. Yeah, he does have a lot of things. It is an interesting like mirror, but something like this, I like Spinal can go through that with the skull, right? He doesn't have to spend an actual meter if he just has to do the heavy bone shaker with skull, and it'll go through the fireball, blow him up. And the way that input is so if Spinal crosses you up, the way you would beat that out is you would do one input. You would do like the teleport, so that if Spinal shows up in front of you, you would get the medium teleport and get behind the enemy Spinal. Or
you buffer
if he
it,
does
pretty much.
cross you up, it'll cross up into the heavy bone shaker and hit him and remove the skull completely. Because sometimes you can trade, you can hit Spinal, but maybe the skull was right in your box right when it came out, so you'll do like a trade or something sometimes. But that will get rid of that completely. If he throws you, if Spinal has one Spinal in the corner and not the other, let me get a skull, and then just like do a throw devil, like throw me into the corner. One thing that he's always going to have to be wary of is something like that. That's an easy way to get out of the corner. Spinal has a pretty slow jump in, and his anti-air will actually work against him. And then, he has to be careful about throwing skulls, because you can just power the power. And I believe if the other Spinal has like bouncing skulls, this one can just power devour.
Yeah, he can eat them up. Will he eat the overhead with that power devour?
No, the power devour only works on special moves.
I thought the overhead skull. Sorry.
Oh yeah, the overhead skull. Yeah, it will, but not the overhead. The overhead is a command.
Yeah. So you're saying this matchup is 6-5? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, 6-5.
My next question was gonna wait. It's gonna be what type of moves do you want to absorb?
Oh, and slide is automatically an opener.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a normal, and you have to just do an opener.
I guess a question like that, he's asking what are you looking out for to absorb? Power line, like usually like Spinal players that are good at the character know when I want to do a power line. Like they usually do a combo if I combo breaker and I want to get in, they know I want to close the gap. So like I'm gonna do a combo opener into heavy, you break it, I'm gonna try getting in, you absorb it. You know what I mean? I want to close the gap, and now look at me.
In the corner, or against two skulls, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spinal has to be willing to take risks, like just walk up and power devour to bait something out, or to things like that. And because this is actually unlike all the other characters in the game who have things like counters and/or parries, that power devour has startup on it. It's not 1 frame, it's not 0 frame, it's nothing like that. It doesn't come out instantly, and it will lose to normals.
I want to show them also. I guess we didn't really show this off. People, you could do power devour. Like I could just hit him.
Yeah,
works special moves.
It is susceptible to normals.
Yeah.
And it does take a while.
But question
and
from
command throws.
Kai Legend: why can't Spinal non-fireball skull not be shadow countered?
His non? Oh, I believe it's hard to do that one too, because that one is also just quick. But the medium, I don't know. It's just something about it. I don't know if it's if the low skull is like doesn't work. I don't know if you want to try that double. If you want me to give you a meter, or you want to get a meter?
What do you want me to do exactly?
A normal. I'm gonna do
Shadow counter. Okay.
The low skull. I'm gonna do crouching medium punch into low skull, and we can see if it works. Nope.
No. That sucks.
So, and that's actually minus block. So I guess it just comes out fast enough. Or I guess he just recovers fast enough.
He recovers fast enough and doesn't have a lot of blocks done.
Yeah. So that means the medium and the low.
You know what's fucked up? I got cursed from that. Even though I shadow counter. Block?
Did you? Oh, let me hit you.
Let me hit you.
Yeah.
Block? Get a skull from me. Do like a cross heavy punch. Alright, now make me shadow counter that.
Oh, it's crazy because I guess the skull did technically touch you.
Yeah.
Because I guess in shadow counter, you're not really in a state of like.
It doesn't matter if it hurts. It doesn't matter if it hurts. It's still hit.
You're not really like in a state of like block or getting hit. It's like different, right? I guess.
Yeah. You're. It's like a pair. The way I've always understood shadow counters is that they're like parries, so you still moves will still connect. You just won't take damage for it.
The thing, Reverend, is I guess it's kind of like armor, but the thing about shadow counter is it allows you to break off into a state where your character will do a pose, and then if they get hit, it activates a super.
Yeah.
And the super is specific to each character, but the thing
you
is
get
that you will
of
never.
That super.
Yeah, right. And you will never take damage for being shadow countered.
So even if you're about to get chipped out, you have like literally 0.001% health, and you shadow counter like a special move that will chip you out, you'll live.
The other thing I was going to say, the mention about shadow counters, is there was a point in this game when a shadow counter actually had the startup of its like respective super that it is. But yeah, I'm kind of answering your question with what I'm saying. So when it comes to shadow counters, they used to have the startup of their respective super, but now they all start up, I think, universally in 4 frames. Because there was some shadow counters that were actually garbage. So like Hisako was one of the worst ones. Kim Woo was one of the worst. Maya's was trash. Like there was just characters that had like these supers that they were using as shadow counters, and the shadow counter was supposed to be kind of like a universal thing for characters to use, but not everybody's was equal. And not everybody's is equal now. Like some characters still have like some specific ones, and there's some characters that don't have a projectile invincible one. So that matters in certain situations too. I actually don't know who has the best shadow counter. I don't know. I think they're all are along the same lines of like being good, but I don't know who has the best one.
I want to say Thunder.
They did a good job at evening them out.
I kind of want to say Thunder because his is so active, so active. It has so much active frames on armor, like the whole way through. Whereas TJ's can get hit out of the way.
It's debatable too, though, because his doesn't actually go that far.
True.
So there's a lot of situations with Thunder where
it won't reach.
He can shadow counter something and it won't even reach. So like I would
say earlier.
That's mad questionable. Yeah, like Hisako. I think in terms of startup is not the question. I think distance would be one, and I think Hisako definitely has one of the best ones because it goes so far.
Shadow Dago.
Wolf's is really good.
Yeah, I think one thing that you have to be also take into consideration in some of those things is like how punishable they are, right? So somebody like Maya's, because it's still that tumble kick, you can just backdash out of the like 3rd and 5th hit and then punish. You know what I mean? Or
That's true too.
Mine
like
actually gives me plus on block.
Yeah, that's true. Hisako's is plus also.
Yeah, teaches +3.
And Hisako's like the other thing about it that's interesting is like with Hisako's you could shadow counter any hit. So like that matters because like in a situation like where you were gonna pop instinct, like you'd have to instantly cancel that, you know?
No, Spinal can't recapture.
Yeah, he can't. He doesn't have recapture.
He doesn't recap. He doesn't stagger, and he doesn't flip out.
Not everybody in the game has
those
Flip
tools.
out and stagger. Some characters don't have them.
I did it before the end of that last match, but he has like a basic like special to special link, and it's gonna be medium skull into light sword.
Oh wow.
I can do that. Yes, I can do that at like because at certain ranges you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna break medium or heavy because that's the only thing that connects, and I can
Oh, that's
actually
smart.
get light. And then if I do instinct, give me instinct. No, my bad, I didn't break. And
Juggle into
he's also like Jago where he can go up a manual in instinct because of his +2.
Yeah, but Reverend, that's the thing we're trying to explain. Like, Shadow Counter tier list doesn't really exist because they're all pretty much even in terms of startup, and each have different utility. Where TJ's won't really combo into itself unless you can do a side exchange, which takes away a hit, but it gives me armor. Thunder's has the most armor, but it doesn't go anywhere. Sako's has 0 armor, but it goes hella far. So all of them are pretty even.
But I was gonna. The other thing, Reverend, is that juggle into recapture off of a shadow counter wouldn't even be a thing because there's no shadow counter that launches somebody.
Crazy!
So it wouldn't happen.
Even in the air, like if I do a shadow counter, like say like I don't know, say I shadow counter Riptor's jump heavy punch in the air. Sometimes if I shadow counter too early, it'll hit her in the air, and she'll stay in the air getting hit, and it just hit the ground. She won't get recaptured.
You mean instinct again?
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if anybody saw it there, but he can go up a manual, and then that trick where he can get a light sword, he can also get a medium sword. For those, you have to be wary of what that +2 gives him. Seeing I got a heavy manual off the medium, and then if I do
It's fucked
I got a
up.
medium sword off of medium skull.
Kind of like TJ also, like could do things in instinct that he can't normally do. You know?
Certain links.
Yeah, like this, for example. That works, which never ever works. You know, outside of it.
And you know, and he can get cash outs off of something like that. You know, if it's a ground bound.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. You can't break Shadow Skull, and it will keep you grounded in combo.
But anyway, I think that's everything.
And it has a nasty bug too, where if you try to break it, it'll probably save that input.
Oh yeah, it'll store it. Yeah. It's fucked up.
Which I think that happens with Mira's Shadow Bats too, right? Where it stores your input,
Mhm.
like non-breakable like shadow.
And you lock out
projectiles.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if anybody has any questions.
thanks
or
for the
if they wanna
follow,
see anything.
Enigmatic Black and Talons Blazing. As far as questions, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask.